Hello and welcome. This is Angie with theCountryChicCottage.net. So today we're going to have another video all about the Cricut Joy and one of the features that it has. So today we're going to talk all about matless cutting. So if you saw my first video on the Joy, I actually did a project using matless vinyl, and so I did a really large sign even with the small Cricut Joy. But today we're going to go into some of the details on matless cutting so you can kind of see the ins and outs of it and some of my tips and tricks. So we'll start with the fact that Cricut Joy is the only Cricut machine that you can actually cut matless material. So you don't need a mat to actually cut in the Joy, but what you do need is the proper material. So to cut matless with the Cricut Joy, you'll need smart materials. So we're going to use smart vinyl today, but there's also smart iron-on as well. So smart vinyl comes in anywhere from 12-inch to 240-inch long rolls, and you just take the roll out of the packaging and just put it right into Cricut Joy, no mat required. So let's take a look at the machine itself and how you put this vinyl in, and then we're actually going to make a project today that really shows what the Cricut Joy can do. So here we go, let's take a look inside the machine. If you haven't seen Cricut Joy, you just flip the lid down and then you see the machine inside. So it's a really simple machine, one blade, and that's the fine point blade, which we'll be using to cut this vinyl. It also just has the two rollers on the side. There's nothing really to adjust, and there's guides on both sides. The smart vinyl itself is 5.5 inches wide, and the version we're going to use is 48 inches long. Like I said, it is up to 20-foot rolls. Here's the vinyl out of the package so you can take a look at that. So it has a grid on the back and then the vinyl on the front, and it's also inset from the edges a little bit, so there's some white area on both sides. And what we're going to do is just put it in under these guides, and the Joy itself has sensors, and as you put it into the machine, it'll actually pull in once Cricut Design Space is pulled up. If you want to see more about how Joy operates without any buttons, you can head to our YouTube video all about Cricut Joy, and I'll link to that in the description below. So now I have Cricut Design Space up and running, and I've connected it to my machine. So you can see the light start blinking at the top, so that indicates that we're connected. And the Cricut Design Space is prompting me to load my material. So now I can put the smart vinyl into the Joy, make sure it's under the guides on both sides, push it in, and the machine will grab it. Now what it's doing now is it's measuring my material. So Design Space told me I needed 20.5 inches for my project, and Cricut Joy actually just made sure that I had 20.5 inches worth of vinyl to cut. The other thing that you might note is that the Cricut Joy straightens the material as it loads it in. So if I was to load this accidentally just a little bit crooked, it would self-correct itself and make sure that the material is straight, so no more crooked cuts or getting to the end of a really long cut and having the material itself clog in the machine because it's so crooked one way or the other. So now my material is loaded, and Cricut Design Space is prompting me to press go. Because there's no buttons on the Joy itself, you actually press go right in Cricut Design Space to start our cut. So now that we've cut this material with Cricut Joy, we just need to trim off any excess, and you want to be sure to get this straight. So I'm actually going to use the lines on the back, and that way when I go to use the rest of the roll, I'll have a straight piece to put into Cricut Joy. And we'll set that to the side, and then we're just going to weed this. So the weeding on this is going to be super simple. Probably don't even need weeding tools. We could probably just grab it and just pull back that excess. So now what are we going to use these stars for? We are going to use those to decorate some plain gifts. So here I have a couple of gifts that I've wrapped up in just plain wrapping paper, and we're going to use these to wrap around our gifts. So if you are going to head it out to a party, only have a couple minutes, you only have plain wrapping paper, and you just want to add a little something special to your gifts, Cricut Joy to the rescue. Just pull up these cute stars, and I will drop the cut file for these in the description below. And then we can just wrap those around our gift like tape, but better, because they're super cute stars. Now we have a cute decorated gift to take to the party all within a couple minutes, all with the Cricut Joy. So whether you're going to the party or hosting it, I'm sure you can find a way to use Cricut Joy on all of your crafts for the party. And I hope you enjoyed this look into the matless feature, because I know you're going to love it. Think of like big things, party banners, like your title across the top for your photo booth, and you want it nice and big and long. Matless is the way to go, and you can only get that with the Cricut Joy. So be sure to check this out. It's going to go on sale starting March 1st. I'll drop a link below so you can head there, and then I'll put a link for the cut file for this one in the description below, as well as a link to my original video all about Cricut Joy, so you can kind of see more of the features if this is the first video you're watching. So if you're ready to go matless, be sure to pick up the Cricut Joy when it goes on sale. Now I have so much more planned around the Cricut Joy, including a video on all about the comparisons between the different Cricut machines. So you might want to head on over to my YouTube channel, subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos, because that's coming soon. So if you're struggling with which machine that you might want to buy, you might want to head there. Now, if you have any questions about anything we've covered today, you can drop those in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer those. Even if it's just a generic question about the Joy itself, I'll be happy to answer it there, or point you to another video that will answer your question. If you love this video, love the matless feature, be sure to give us a thumbs up, because we love thumbs up. So thank y'all so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next week with another fun Cricut video. Maybe a little something with Cricut Joy. You can't never tell. Thanks y'all, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.